3, a 2, a 1. That wasn't bad. I think, did we beat Mr. Squex there? Probably. Anyway, welcome everyone to Tea Time. We're calling this the podcast now, Tea Time Podcast, because, well, it might as well be called that. I said I'd never call it that, but we've called it that for the past, 5 episodes now. What is this? Episode 66, which is, 6 short of, on the end being the correct number, I think, for this. Today I am joined by 2 guests, which are from my stream team. Who do need an introduction because some of you might not know of them, but you should know of them, and hopefully you will learn to love them as much as I have in the past few months. More than a year now, nearly. So on my right, little bun, that's Ivory. Hello, Ivory.
Hello.
Ivorysmoon of twitch.tv/Ivorysmoon. How you doing?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
You're not going to be honest today then and say that you woke up at the time for the actual podcast? Were you trying to hide that fact?
Oh.
No, you're fine. And to
just a bit.
and to your left, but my right in the game here is this wonderful aura. This is Wobbzie, or Wobbzie's old. How you doing, Wobbzie?
I'm not doing too bad. I woke up just about as early as Ivory did. So, we're doing a great job today, considering we're all in the UK. It's wonderful.
Don't lie, you were sat in the bar for an hour, you told me.
That is true. I was stuck in there for an hour.
Yeah.
But it's basically the same.
He was an hour early, and there's Ivory going, relying on a hubby to wake her up.
It's Hobo's fault. We know it is.
It is Hobo's fault.
I think this is the first time on Tea Time we've had a threesome, so that's unique.
Giggity?
Giggity,
Oh,
indeed.
hey.
So,
Glad to pop that cherry.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the purpose of this podcast is really to talk about what you guys are going to be doing or have been doing to keep yourselves interested and busy before Endwalker. And really, I wanted to extend what people are excited about, because everybody has their own different things. Like Chili has been on before and he's hyped about Island Sanctuary and other bits and pieces that aren't coming with launch. We've had Mr. Squex talking about stuff before, so it'd be nice to see what you are doing and what you are planning to do. So I think we'll start with Wobbzie. What would you say has kept you sane these past few months? What are you looking forward to and all that bits and pieces?
What's kept me sane is honestly doing the relics.
Which ones?
Heaven's Ward, Stormbloods. Haven't done any ARR ones yet. So
But you had no sanity to begin with.
This is true.
I love Eureka. Eureka's great. Also been doing frontline. I've just been doing bits and bobs of everything, really. That's the That's the beauty of this game, is just why stick with one thing when you can do so much?
It's true. There's a lot of variety, and that's something that a lot of other games don't seem to have. So, usually you log in, and then you're like, okay, I've done my dailies for the day, I'm going to log out. That's pretty much me back in WoW. But here it's like, well, what would I want to do today? I don't know. We could do some PvP. Yeah. We could do some Blue Mage stuff. We could do raiding, all sorts of things and bits and pieces. There's a lot for everyone.
I've been doing all the crafting quests recently, like getting those up to date.
Like Crystalline Mean?
I haven't done those yet. I've done the ones before that, because I leveled a lot of my crafters in the Ishgardian Restoration.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had to do like the Armorsmith and Blacksmith from level 1. I mean, I've totally been crafting them all. I haven't gone to the market board for anything. God, no one can prove that whatsoever.
I mean, with the Ishgard Restoration, I think I just spent the entirety of the FC at the time's budget on fueling my Saint of the Firmament title. So, yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was me and like 2 other people that put in there in the first place. So it wasn't full stealing. It was kind of like just taking what wasn't being used and repurposing it, basically. But, yeah. But, yeah, it was a lot easier to just buy stuff, because that title was very hard to actually accomplish, just simply because of how many other people were doing it. And those people, I know for a fact, after talking to some of the other people that had Saint of the Firmament, had actually got teams of people in Diadem gathering for them. That's crazy. They had teams of people helping them. So that was
I was there in the WoW days when the gates of Ankaraji were being opened, so I know how crazy people go.
Oh, what an interesting comparison. Yeah, wow, I completely forgot about that.
I remember them opening up in Khadgar at like 3 or 4. No, I think it might have been 6 in the morning, actually. I was like, what's going on? Oh!
Yeah, big team effort stuff. But I was proud that it was just me, a large stack of gil, and the market board that was being undercut every million seconds. It was great. You look there for 1 second, something's a million gil. The next, it's 2,000. It's brilliant. I love it. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing if they do any more restoration stuff in the future, for sure. But as far as crafting and gathering goes, I think I couldn't be bothered with the crystalline mean, I'll be honest. I just hadn't got the energy left in me after the restoration stuff.
What would we restore, though? Our sanity?
Well, people are always talking about
restoring
Garlemald.
sanity.
Like, restoring...
Well, there is a certain thing, but that might be spoilers, so...
Oh, people should be aware that this is going to be talking about spoilers and speculation. So, yeah, there you go.
The restoration of where the World of Darkness is, because that could possibly be some form of crafting thing, maybe, down the line.
Wait, you think the 13th is going to be crafting content?
It might involve some... They'll need utensils, okay?
They'll need utensils. What about a world first? You know, like... They need a place to actually put their feet, Wobbzie. You can't just be, hey, we've got forks and spoons, but you could be floating about a bit. You know, at least he's brought forks. That's all they'll say about the Warrior of Light at that point. I don't know. If that isn't an entire expansion on its own, then I'll be quite surprised, especially how the Void quests have led up.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's where 6.1 goes.
Really? I don't know.
It's supposed to be the new story.
Maybe we'll see.
At least the role quests, the combination of it might go there.
Ivory, what would you restore?
Apart from my sanity.
Apart from your sanity. It can't be Garlemald. Have people seen Garlemald? I know it's like spoiler territory, but like that place got nuked. There's no way.
Think of Garlemald.
It's just impossible to restore. Everybody that I talked to recently has been like, oh, it'll be Garlemald restoration. It's like, have you seen Garlemald? You'd realize how much tech would be involved in making such a large space phase in and out of completion states?
Wouldn't you rather restore Bosja?
God, no. Leave Bosja where it is. Leave it as a crater in the floor.
After the ping I've suffered with trying to get anything done in Bosja, I've just...
This is why you play on EU servers, Ivory, and you don't play on American servers from England. I've tried to tell you this.
But I'm here, aren't I?
It's true. You made
I made an ult just to come over here and be, you know, some sort of normal and...
Normal? What? How's that possible?
Oh yeah, I'm far from normal.
Oh dear. No, seriously though, I don't know how you deal with that latency. I mean, it's not that bad when you play on US servers, but all you ever do is complain about field instances lagging, and I'm just sat here going, it's a nice day for Bosja today. You know, low MS.
The biggest problem is like whenever there's like big updates and things like that. And I'm pretty sure you'll probably feel some sort of like, you know, hiccups over here. But as soon as there's like a big content release or a big update or something like that, all of a sudden every Tom, Dick and Harry wants to log on. And meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, I play this nearly every single day. I want priority. And they're like, no, we're just going to like... choke the server of everything. Meanwhile, I'm kind of doing a Mr. Ben animation across, you know, the world. Just trying to do my life, you know.
Are the US servers with the most population as well?
This is true. Yeah, they do have the most population now, don't they? Was it the Lucky Bancho thing came out? What was it, last week or the week before? Where it was like, yeah, NA has now surpassed Japan. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
In all honesty, again, like, we had moments where it was like, you know, high population kind of thing, but recently during the summer when that big explosion happened and whatnot, I actually wasn't here. I was away for a week.
I remember that. Yeah, your server was basically on fire, Cactuar, because of Asmon and a few others.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm like, Ivory, how are you dealing with this? And it's like, Ivory is away.
I mean, Twintania's was really busy as well, because I think we were the only one that was like open all the time. And I was just stood there in Gardania on the stream and like, how many sprouts? When are they going to end?
Just a field of sprouts.
Completely crazy. But when that actually happened, I had like bearing in mind, I'm out like in the middle of the country with barely any decent like internet at all. So I'm on my mobile phone. All of a sudden, as soon as he went live, it was ping, 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 and I'm sitting there looking at my phone going, if I turn it off and turn it on again, what's going to happen? My phone exploded.
Yeah.
And everyone went, don't log in. It's like, I'm not even anywhere near a computer. He's on Cacta. Oh, dear God. And then after that, when I got back, everyone's going,
server? Oh, God.
No, he's on my server. He's on my server. I was there first.
Speaking of, haven't the US servers been crashing lately as well? I've been seeing that tweeted out.
So has the EU servers. Where you been, Wobbzie?
I've been fine. I don't know about you. Light's been absolutely peachy.
Chaos has had
been happening
issues
while I've been online.
Yeah. The American servers have been DDoS lately, apparently, by some weird reasoning. I don't know why. I still don't understand it.
It's more popular than WoW now, I suppose, or whatever you want to go. I don't know. That's usually some people's logic.
Did we go? I don't know if we go down that route.
Well, I'm not going to use that thing in terms of like, you know, everyone coming over. So it's like, I've seen the memes of it's a Final Fantasy 14 killer now instead.
Oh no, they haven't moved on to that.
Yeah, people are saying that.
No, please don't be one of those people. If you're watching this right now, please don't be the person that's like, it's a Final Fantasy 14 killer. We don't care. We haven't cared for however many years it's been. We won't care for the next few. You know, for the next 10. Sorry, because Yoshi P came out the other day saying another 10 years of content. I was like, ooh, at least.
Is he going to be his 60s by then? How old he is now.
Yeah, but the thing is, in Japan, they have less requirement on relying on retirement, right? If I was to put that in the nicest possible way, right? Retirement isn't necessarily something you go for, especially when everybody's looking at you and you're in your prime. I think Yoshi P is in his prime currently, and I think he's only going to grow even further as a great creator of games, a developer, as well as a producer. Yeah, exactly. Aged with time, you know? And that's good. That's really good. Especially if you compare it to other industries as well, you know, where you just want to get out of the industry. I think as much as he tires, he loves his job. You can see that he loves his job. I don't think...
Famous token.
Yeah. I mean, every time Yoshi P's in an interview recently, he's like, oh, what are your plans for the future? He's like, well, I really want to make my own games again. I want to, you know, he's always talking about making another game or wanting to do this or that or work with this group of people. It's really, really healthy, you know? So it's good to have people like that in the industry rather than what you would see from maybe, arguably, a Western sort of developer, such as... you know, let's go down the Blizzard Entertainment route. I think that the comparison is clear, isn't it? It's night and day between those.
It's not even them. Could you name a single dev on the team for Elder Scrolls Online or Star Wars: The Old Republic?
True.
Any Western MMO? Could you name a single dev, really?
No, because they're deliberately kept out of the limelight because of the publishers and PR, right? Whereas in Square Enix publishes their own game. Whereas Bethesda publishes ZeniMax's game, right? And with your other example, Star Wars, I mean, do you really think that Disney are going to be like, yeah, you know what? Let's just let this person be the face of our... or whoever, right? Whoever it might be. They'd be like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So they're in a very unique situation. The only thing comparable is Blizzard, but you've got people like Ian Hazacostas, right? And people like that, I mean, do we need
but
even...
is it the fact that Yoshi raised this game from like Phoenix in the ashes?
Literally.
Yeah.
Is that kind of why he's more celebrated than anybody, like anyone else? Or is it just the fact that his morals mean that he gets more respect than anybody else?
It was.
I think it's because he doesn't hide behind PR as much.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like he seems more human, direct with it. It might even be an act, I don't know, but it doesn't feel like he's reading from a teleprompter. It's like literally coming from himself.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he has a teleprompter.
No, the only thing he has in front of him during the live letters and stuff like that is a monitor that he has to put his glasses on, and then he's squinting looking at the monitor of all people in chat. He has Twitch chat on there, he has YouTube chat, and he has Nico Live on like a multi-screen window. And that's the only thing he has in front of him, apart from a basic understanding of where he's going, because the confidential papers are in a certain order, so he doesn't lose track. Although last time he lost track in the live letter because he turned too many pages over and it was like, oh yeah, there's furniture, by the way. So, yeah, I think Wobbzie's probably hit the nail on the head, but I would think that it probably was more of a case of people did respect Yoshi P more because of the Phoenix rising from the ashes thing. But I think it's evolved much more since then, because not only has he proved to be capable of leading a team of wonderful people and getting that organized to the point where they're all working as a machine, to actually pump out this really good content with a high quality. But now it's more of like, this guy really wants to take on the entirety of the industry. He holds true to other ideals that other game companies can't. For example, like the argument of pay to win. This is something that comes out every single year when there's a new game of any description, single player or MMO or massively multiplayer or whatever, right? Loot boxes and things. And it's nice to see that his standpoint is cosmetic only, and like maybe convenient stuff. I mean, we could argue that the SDS Fenrir is the one issue, but I mean, the other people have different definitions of that, right? With the whole boosting and stuff.
How does that make it pay to win?
Because some people think
faster.
Some people think that because it gives you that 10% movement speed that you would normally get with a map, that you're basically paying to skip that particular piece of grinding, right? That in-game content. And it does give you a small advantage, right? That's the only thing that does. But I don't know if it's pay to. I don't know. This is a whole different topic.
That wouldn't really be. No, that's no. Sorry.
You don't really win.
There's nothing.
From having a sick ass bike that
I was going to say, there's nothing to really win apart from the fact that you're just traveling at 10% faster from point A to point B.
And as we all know, paying or moving faster necessarily doesn't actually improve the quality of the experience, because you technically want to go at the pace that it was written anyway. So, that's why job boosts and stuff like that, in my opinion, are a bad idea unless it's an alt.
I mean, this character's a boosted monkey. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, but But the thing is, though, I don't think any of us three here, or even if I asked Fran or anybody else, from anybody I know, would argue with the fact that boosting on alts is like where you would use them, but not a single person I know would recommend boosting and level, and especially not story skipping on a new character. Like if you were new to the game, because that's just you're basically screwing yourself over. You're not paying to win, you're paying to screw yourself. I think that's really
I had a
what
couple
it
of
is.
people in my stream, in my little, I'm going to call it a coven. I don't know why. I just felt like it should be called a coven. It's not. It's a fluffle. And they were like, oh yeah, so I bought this. I was like, okay. And they went, and I bought a story skip. And I'm just like, on your first playthrough, you monster, what are you doing?
Like, promise me you'll do New Game Plus. Promise me.
And they were like, yeah, but we want to come play with you. And I'm like, you can come play with me. I will come play with you. I've got to level up like my other roles. I don't anymore. I'm 80 across the board. But it was like, it's that initial shock of when they were like, yeah, so I've just started playing the game and I bought a skip, and I'm just like, my heart.
I will blame other MMOs for that, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are not story first, and it's like kind of encourages you to skip.
Especially, let's actually bring up, like, it is advised to skip in WoW. It very much is advised to skip.
You level
in WoW.
so fast in that if you've got like the leveling gear as well. You skip majority of the content anyway.
Oh yeah, like there's so much content in there that if you were to actually try and do it all, you'd be max level before you even finished like the first thing. And it's also the reason why they made it more recently, if I understand, because I haven't played it in years, where apparently you get to choose which expansion you do and in what order now.
They've squished you back down to 60, I think, and that's like level 1 to 10 is to start a zone and blah blah blah.
So there's no guarantee of everybody actually ever seeing Cataclysm, for example, or everybody seeing Mop. You know, it's most likely.
A shame.
It is
because it ruins the story as well. Like, I mean, not that the story's great in that game anyway, but if you're like wanting to like invest yourself into the world, like 14. Yeah, but you like, say you meet like Anduin or the Black Dragonflight guy, you'd be like, who are these people?
Yeah,
it's like they came in like Mr. Pandaria or Cataclysm. It's like, I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, that's why I think you're right about a modern, say for instance, you know, a kid of, you know, what, 16, 17 years old right now, picking up WoW for the first time or whatever age they might be, you know, that particular generation will probably be more encouraged to skip that stuff because they just want to play with their older friends, and there will be no incentive to play through that because it's like, oh, should I play through this stuff? Nah, it's not relevant. Well, that's the truth of it. And so much of WoW's storyline is so convoluted, and like, you need to really be in pre-Cataclysm to understand one quest line, and then you need to be in post this particular thing happen. It's very disjointed. In Cataclysm, there are references to Wrath of the Lich King that wouldn't make sense if you play for a different order now. There are references in Mists of Pandaria to, you know, whereas in this game, in Final Fantasy XIV, that really doesn't happen. You know, you've got the straight linear path that doesn't seem to deviate. There's no timey-wimey bits to this, but everything is referenced. From the first NPC you see in this game, literally being important in Shadowbringers. Like, that's the thing that blew my mind. I was like, that's the carriage guy. Oh, he's important in this in a completely different way. And it's even alluded that he's even more important, but that's, you know, there's a lot of speculation about who exactly
I'm
he is.
looking forward to seeing the Charlian guy, maybe, from the Aron Reborn Relic quest chain, possibly popping up in Walker in some form. Like, this is one thing, they remember their characters in this game. When I came back to this for Shadowbringers, I had all the post-ARR quests to do, literally every single one of them to do from the beginning, because I stopped playing at the end of the original game. And I have loved seeing all the NPCs going around. You will see people from the Mandeville quest chain. Like, the
Hopefully.
3 different coloured haired like triplets are in the Earth, Sea and Fire, wherever it is, in Ildershire.
Yeah.
The training dummies.
You also have the in-game seasonal events that, for example, which year was it with Valention's Day, where they were like, you had that quest and every time you did it, it was a different NPC, and it was like previous NPCs from quests that you'd done before, and you were like giving them a gift or something. I remember that. It's just, so this is a game you really shouldn't skip the story of if you want any kind of comprehension. A New Game Plus is fine, but it doesn't cover everything. So in my opinion, if you were to play the game tomorrow for the first time, I think it would be advised to just grin and bear it. And you can always press faster if you don't like a particular storyline at that time. You can always click through things, or, you know, skip a cutscene here and there by pressing escape and pressing skip. But realistically, past the first, I don't know, intro bit with the Scions, when you meet them, which is a bit tedious, it gets really interesting when you start to realize who you are, you know.
It's kind of okay to skip up to about, I'd say when you start about to go to Titan, your first primal, maybe, or even when you go to see Sid.
If it's your first primal.
Is it for the first one? I thought it was Titan. No, well, either way.
It's Ifrit, isn't it?
Ifrit's the first one, and that's what it swaps around later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's around then when it starts getting like, oh, this is interesting. Whereas before that, it's like A, B, C, D, and it used to be worse before they did the squish. Because I remember once Fancred gave me a quest, and the NPC was literally just across like a few steps away from him.
Like, talk to this guy. I'm not talking to him.
Be different.
Yeah, exactly. Oh dear. Right, let's get back on topic a bit. We went on a tangent, but yeah, I think all three of us would say, just if it's your first time and you're wanting to play this game, try not to skip things storyline related, because it's not, you know, you got all the time in the world to catch up to your friend. If you wanted to catch up to the gear right now, you could do it within a day, you know, at max level, easily, because it's just like, or within a week because of currency, you know, or literally Endwalker comes out, everybody literally has the same gear because it's vendor purchased on day one, or from those little lock boxes that you open as you level. But yeah, moving back onto things, Ivory, we introduced with Wobbzie what Wobbzie was doing and what Wobbzie was keeping up with to keep himself sane. What about you? What have you been up to? Gathering, crafting, or something else?
I made this character.
Yeah.
To kind of fill the gap, but it wasn't so much that I made this character because there's nothing to do. I kind of made this character because I'm like, okay, so the new expansion's coming out. We've talked about the whole choking of the servers and me, animation across the world. So I was like, sorry, I'll come to the EU and I'll see the difference and test, dip my toe in the waters over here, test it out. Meanwhile, I'm still going back over and trying to get my little gwibs, which I've had
dragons,
no luck getting.
Same.
I'm missing 4, I think.
Oh, you missed more than me. That's surprising. I missed Seat of Sacrifice, Diamond, and Emerald.
I have none.
I think I'm missing.
I mean, we could just wait a couple of weeks and then we'll be able to get them.
I think?
Hades, okay. Hades is a fun fight. It's really quite simple. It's got a good transition, that fight.
So many people say it's simple. The problem was, when I first tried to do it, it wasn't simple because of the fact that I had an issue where I was locked in animation.
Oh.
So people are then shouting at me to like do mechanics and do things. But I couldn't see what was going on, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I've broken the chains. We're in that animation." And they're like, "No."
Oh.
But it kept happening, and I'm like, I don't know whether it's my end. I don't know what's going on there. So it kind of put me into a bit of anxiety with going in with public groups, which is why I didn't. Try pugging it. Whereas, so because of the fact that I've been in that constant animation lock for a couple of times. I had the same thing with Tsukiyomi for the dogs and things like that. I got to one point and there was no music. I heard no cues and some of the graphics were going funny for me. I don't know whether it was my machine. I don't know whether it was just like a bad day. It might have been a Monday. I don't know.
I can just imagine Tsukiyomi smiling, going, "In darkness blooms the spider lily, and Ivorysmoon is dead."
I don't know what happened.
The first time we went to Tsukiyomi, everybody was like, "Oh, Ivory, you'll like this one, a Moon Bunny," and I was just like, like really.
And then you hated it.
But it was the fact that I constantly kept getting the sound issue,
That's
and
weird.
I'm standing there and I'm just like, I
want
to love this.
Can we blame the NA servers on that? Is that allowed?
I was going to say, blame the EU playing in NA.
Yeah, can we blame that?
There's been different issues with it to the point where I took a group. I mean, I did manage to get my dog in the end, but I took a group through and they were just like, I'm trying to explain tactics to them, and they were insistent that they were right, and I'm like, no, you're not right, and they're like, why do you know so much? Because I've been tortured on this bloody bus. I know what to do.
It's one of those cartoon situations. It's like, how do you know so much? And then there's just like a shadow over your face as you turn around. I've seen some shit.
Too much.
Literally, just this bunny with like frazzled hair. Like, I've seen so much. My sweet summer child. Oh dear. Yeah.
But,
so what have you been doing then, apart from failing at getting gwibs?
Just taking people through, getting like playing their catch ups.
Doing a bit of mentor stuffs.
Oh, banging my head against the brick wall with my I don't know, with my Burger King crown. I got told that I have a Burger King crown recently.
Oh well, congratulations on your mentor crown. That means so much.
My mentor crown. Well, I was in a group and someone was going, so these are the tactics. You do this, and this. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, no, you don't. No, you don't. Everybody's dead. I'm still alive on the other side. And they're like, why aren't you doing tactics? I'm like, I'm doing the tactics. I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm doing tactics.
I find there's a lot of anxiety, especially with myself. Because unfortunately I'm a mentor as well because I've got too many comms.
Same.
But when I do the mentor roulette or something like that, because, why not help people out? People, I don't know, I'm not sure. Sometimes it's like, do they expect me to give them advice or not? And with the policy like adjustments, I'm more worried that someone's going to be like, stop telling us what to do and stuff. So I kind of lean back a little bit and then wait for them to wipe. And then I'll be like, would you like some advice? And then proceed that way. Because
that's pretty much the role I take with them because, again, it's like a weird mix of people that you get the ones that want help.
Yeah.
And are willing to be patient and do it. Actually, best example, I did a diamond weapon a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in with one group and they were... Toxic is not even the word for it. They were so nasty with each other.
Oh, dear.
And I said, is this someone's first time? And one person held their hand up and went, yeah, it's my first time. And I said, okay, what are you struggling with? And meanwhile, everybody in the chat is just going, all you have to do is do this. Stop doing that. You're getting me killed, blah, 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 blah. And just getting nastier and nastier and nastier. And I was like, you know what? I'm willing to help. But if everybody's going to be horrible to each other, I don't really want to be a part of it.
I'm amazed that even happens because every time I join a group, no one says anything. I mean, this is maybe a different experience then. Like on Chaos on EU, probably Wobbzie's the same on Light. Nobody really says anything apart from hello, and then like the occasional bit here and there, but no one will like ever insult another person. No one ever goes out of their way because they're all like hovering over the report button basically. So in that way we don't have that issue, but maybe that's something that's...
I don't know whether it's just like an NA thing or what it is, but like I said, this one group just got really, really nasty with each other. I joined another group and it was like, have you watched this video? Do you know the tactics? I'm not wasting my time. If you don't, if you answer no to any of these, get out. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm not joining that group. So I thought, sod it, I'm going to join a new group, one where a learning party. I was in there for 4.5 hours with the same group.
Oh, I watched that on stream and you got a clear and you were nearly crying at the end because you managed to help them get a clear.
Because the thing was, when they made a mistake, they instantly said, what am I doing wrong? What am I not understanding? Where, like, this bit, I don't understand this bit.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that they were all just like, they all wanted to learn. They all wanted to know.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, so this is what you do. If we can get past this point, then I'll explain the next point. I'm not going to, like, one of the worst parts with any new instance, and I knew people who used to do this to me, and this is a nightmare I've found about being a streamer, I tend to not do the content immediately. I tend to spend like a day or so letting everybody else get to it. So then when I stream, they can't really come in and go, oh my God, spoilers. So I leave it for a couple of days.
Love the impression. Go on, carry on.
So anyway, so by the time I'm going in there, again, this is just me personally, I don't like being bombarded with information.
Yeah.
And especially when you're a healer, I don't know about you, but I'm one of those healers that's got the bonky eyes. One eye's going that way, one eye's going the other way. My body's going somewhere else.
Here's the weirdest thing though. All right, here's a typical example of something that happens on EU 2 weeks after a trial comes out, okay? Right, the trial has been out for 2 weeks, okay? You enter it for the first time in the second week. You instantly get posted a macro. You ask what the macro means. They leave the group. That's what happens over here. So
yeah, that's happened on NA as well, and it's the fact of the best. This was released yesterday. Why do you not know what's going on?
Oh dear.
This has been out for ages. I've just logged on.
Yeah.
The worst part I always hate is when someone goes, "Oh, this is such an easy mechanic." It's like, this is the one I'm struggling with the most.
It's easy for them because they've done it 53 times for totem farming. Like, not everyone's at that
going
point.
on when we're doing E12S. Like, some people are like, "Oh, this is a really easy mechanic." It's like, I'm the main tank here. This is not easy. The APOC might be easy for you, but are you kidding?
I mean, it was like Hobo when he logged in to do Bozja. Now, Hobo hadn't been online for like 6 months, so Bozja was completely new to him. And we did
Red Chocobo memes.
we did one of the fates. Anyway, he got clipped by something and died. And one of I don't know who it was, but it was just one of these things where it's like, Bozja's been out for absolutely ages. How do you not know how to do this? And he's like, I've logged on for the first time in 6 months, like, due to work.
Yeah.
And this is the response I get. Not everybody is going to be able to be there on content every single time. Or in my case, I do it to be polite.
I've never experienced that in Bozja or Zadnor. Everyone just gets on with it.
I have experienced it.
With delight if there's a
it's
file.
When you've got someone who's playing a tank, like, you know... It's that selfish mentality. I mean, are you a part of it? Are you a team player or a solo player?
Mostly solo, but yeah, I like to do team stuff when I can do.
But it's the mindset. Do you play to help people or do you play for yourself? Now, when you're playing a tank and you don't have tank stance on, if you've got a squishy in your in the party for in Bozja, for example, so you're not a squishy. Well, I'm definitely squishy. If you poke me, I squeak. But if you've got a caster in your group, so say for example a black mage.
Okay, yeah, the squishiest of squish. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So if you've got a plate wearer in there that has the possibility to actually taunt the aggro, you would assume to protect the others, especially when you've got a healer as well. You put on your tank stance, right? Yep. This guy didn't. So Hobo initially pulled the aggro, got whomped. So then I'm trying to res him. I then get whomped. And the other guy, he's just soloing it at this point. But he's being so, like I said, nasty in the chat. Like, oh, this is old content. Why are you all dying? It's like, why do you not have tank stance on?
Yeah, why would you play a tank in that situation and not have tank stance on? There's literally no benefit to turning it off, is there? Unless there's another tank present.
Literally, by going around with tank stance on, you're almost guaranteeing even solo gold all the time, as long as you get there within a good enough time, because it's like threat generation for some reason or whatever it is.
Well, this is the one where it's the actual fate thing, not the world fate, the one the one that you have to queue for. It was that one. Yeah, critical engagement.
Probably that one with the snakes or something.
I can't remember which one. No, it's it's in the second area, I think. It's been that long, I can't actually remember which one it is. But yeah, but it's the fact of, screaming it's old content. And I've said to so many people, it doesn't matter whether it's old content. Actually, do you get guys that do that in your groups with anything? It's old content.
I've never had anyone scream it's old content, no.
No, I've never seen that.
I get it so often. And I'm just like, why
not even in Eureka.
Is that a thing?
We don't even get that in Eureka because there are so many new people going in Eureka dying to dragons. Exactly. It's like, oh yeah, you can walk past them, they don't attack you, and they're like, what? No, that's the situation we have in Shout Chat.
Armory, and I didn't know about Magia Auto, or even like the fact you could right click the target bar and set it. No, I had no idea.
That's a good thing to know. Yeah.
No, I've had a mega so many different instances, and like even the I've forgotten the primals now. Ifrit. So you queue Ifrit, you queue for a dungeon, you do the dungeon party finder, and you're getting like Ifrit Extreme or something like that. So everybody's
through
down.
Mentor, yeah.
and you've got somebody screaming at you, it's old content, why do you not know how to do this? And it's like, dude,
oh, wait, we never get
seriously.
that must be a you thing or an NA thing, because I have never seen anyone say this is old content in a primal fight. Usually they're like, oh god, what did I queue for? That's all they actually say, or they're like or they leave after a couple pulls.
I've ever said that on stream about anyone is if it's like it's a mentor, it's an old like trial, like, and they mess up to a really, really obvious mechanic. It's like, you think they'd know how to do that being a mentor, but you know what? That's what mentors are like, so screw it.
I think the only time I've ever had that situation where I'm thinking to myself, I still haven't said it out loud, but where I'm thinking to myself, like, this guy should know better than this, is usually when, like, I see a bot in some content, and it's like the tank for some reason, and it's like just standing in AoEs or like does weird things. So I've seen that a little bit, especially in dungeons where I've had a bot tank literally walk forward, and then the scripts got stuck because we killed the monsters before
he got there,
before his script obviously was telling his character. So like he just stands there and then walks against a wall. Very weird stuff. I've seen that a bit, and I'm like, why is this mentor running against a wall? And then you'll see like 10 minutes pass and we're all just going, is this guy a bot or what? And then they frantically come back to the keyboard and like, my cat was on my keyboard or something. But yeah, we've had that a few times, and I'm like, okay.
So I thought I had a bot the other day in Mac as well, and
There's more of them now, unfortunately.
But it turned out to be a real person, apparently. They were just really bad. I reckon they'd done a level skip. If they hadn't, because they weren't using any AoE, they were just single targeting. And it's like, Ninja has such good AoE.
I don't know. Like I say, this person was like literally walking into walls and, you know, all sorts of weird
that's more
things.
Obvious.
Yeah. Like, because, well, especially when it stands still and he casts like, he's just standing there and it looks like his character's ready to like tank something, but we've already AoE'd it down because we accidentally pulled the pack in front of us as well, but his bot wasn't able to understand that. So it ran back to the place where the monsters would be. Kind of like how a trust would behave, you know. That's how you would see. And then the person's trying to frantically defend, and we're like, okay, yeah, sure.
Alfie hates me in the trust.
Actually, your thing though, Ivory, is that I would definitely, if I see it go for someone who isn't a tank, I would provoke. But the thing is, I've been so used to provoke spammers. And there's so many tanks usually, like Mosher and Zadnor.
Hashtag provokes part of my rotation. Those people.
Yeah.
And
I copied Factory once, where for ages, and the first boss was being tanked by a samurai. Because I was in as a tank, and I took my stance off because like, oh, these two are new. I'll let these guys tank. They have their stance on, but they saw me and removed their stance. But I didn't know that, and I was like,
oh my gosh.
That's just typical tankxiety, though, because instead of actually communicating, you're all just like, I will bow down to this other tank. They know more than me. And then before you know it, everyone is, It's the same thing with any content, though. You get that. Unless you get, because you're so used to having the one guy that goes in there, puts his stance on, refuses to take it off, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm the off tank then. You know, if you're anything like me, you're like, okay, I'll be the submissive one, and then no one else is actually... You know, the domineering one, and no one puts their stance on. Yeah, been there, done that.
So I didn't realize at one point I've been tanking Death Gaze in Dunscape for like 5 minutes as a monk, because the tank who was doing it had died, and I was like, wait a second, where are the other tanks? Oh crap, they're dead as well.
I guess Death Gaze doesn't. I guess it doesn't do that much damage, apart from because it's mostly just the AoE damage, isn't it, with the placements? So yeah.
You've got to love new tanks in raids and things like that. You've got to love it.
I do, but I don't if they provoke spam.
Well, it was World of Darkness, the first boss in there. So I said to everybody, you know, do you know what you're doing? No, I'm new to tanking. I'm new to this dungeon. Okay, so I'll main tank it then. So I went in, tanking it, whatnot. The new tank ran in, provoked, turned the laser onto the entire party. Meanwhile, I'm standing on the other side going,
that sounds fun.
So I'm the only one that's alive. This is awkward.
Remember when the tank almost white breathed the entire party with the second boss?
I have to the one time I can't be angry at a tank that's new though is when they play Spin the Dragon, when they're just inside the actual hitbox and they just spin the monster around and around and around. You can't get angry at that. It's too much fun.
I did that a bit with Gaia and E12S. I didn't spin it that badly. But...
Yeah, it's just like mechanics going off everywhere. It's Russian roulette if you're in the right place. I love that. It's so fun. It really is.
Can we do that at some point? Can we actually get everybody into something and play like a game of Russian roulette? You can't move. You have to pick a spot.
Oh,
stand in it
so like the
and
gold
see...
saucer, but with like, yeah, we could do that with mechanics. Yeah,
we need to do that at some point. It would be hilarious.
It'd have to be like a trial or a raid. You couldn't really do it in a Alliance raid.
Oh my god,
Maybe.
Can you imagine Tsukiyomi? How would you even make that work with the light and dark? I suppose at level 90 you might be able to negate some of it.
Maybe. It depends on how big the squish is going to be.
Don't know. We need level 90 and we need it now. So apart from like leading groups valiantly and helping people from Gweebs and stuff, is that all you've really been doing to keep yourself busy? Any other games? What have you been up to, Ivory? You've done anything else?
I've been taking this whole thing on a tangent. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's interesting.
But no, other games, it's like I've got so many other games to catch up on, and I really need to take Yoshi's advice and play other games.
You do. You do need to take that advice. It's the best advice.
This is like, I know, but this is like my cozy blanket. I think I actually said it to Fran the other day. I've got like this multiple personality syndrome going on where I'm sitting in my chair going, okay, what game do I want to play? And I've got various different versions of me saying, oh, you want to play a nice solo cozy like single player game? Oh, you want to play this, you want to play Dead by Daylight? Oh, you want to play a multiplayer? You want to play Final Fantasy? And then I've got this loud one in the back going, you want to shoot everybody, play a shooter. Like,
wow.
Meanwhile, I'm just kind of sitting there going, I'm going to go back to Final Fantasy because I feel safe in that place.
Little voice is like, Ivory, fishing raid in 5 minutes. Like, well, okay.
The other difficulty with that, with those voices as well, is those voices can only be heard if you can somehow justify streaming them. Because if you're anything like me and you try to play a game, you get streamer guilt or content creator guilt, where you're like, yes, I need to be streaming this, otherwise, what is the point in me playing it? So you're playing a game and you feel guilty, and you're like, I should be streaming this right now. What am I doing? And then you exit the game and then you log on to something else that you can stream, or you feel bad for the rest of the night.
No, I'm going to
that card game.
I'm going to give you some advice. I've been streaming for way too bloody long now.
Please do.
7 years.
Oh, wise one.
One of the biggest mistakes people make is only streaming games and whatnots. You've got to, like, it's all well and good doing, like, playing certain games online and streaming them. But one of the biggest downfalls, and I had this, for the longest time, is you have this point where you're trying to do things so often for everybody else that you just lose your spark, you lose your enjoyment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, if you are going to pick up games and things like that, you have to sit there occasionally and go, right, is this a game for my stream or is this a game for me?
It's almost impossible sometimes, especially if you play something and it turns out to be trash,
But you have to make that decision. You have to, like, for me, loads of people say you've got to have me time. You've got to have, like, your pamper days. You've got to, whatever you do for relaxation. I play computer games. I don't relax. I never relax. I'm 100% all the time. So for me, I do have to sit there and I do have to kind of like fine tune everything with like a comb going, okay, I am not going to stream this game. I am going to keep it for myself and I am going to play it for myself because then I enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I guess.
Whereas Impact used to be that for me, but I've gone cold turkey on that now, and now 14 is just my big game as well.
If you try and stream it, you've got, like, especially when it comes to older games and things like that, there is nothing worse than when it's your first playthrough, you're trying to enjoy the game, and you've got someone, like, bearing in mind you've said no spoilers, no, first playthrough, and you don't want any backseating or anything like that, and you've got this one idiot in your chat going, do you want a hint? Do you want a hint? Oh, you've missed this. Oh, you've just missed this. And you're sitting there going, do I restart just to go pick that up now? Or do I just carry on?
This is exactly the issue I had with Metroid Dread. I wanted so desperately to play the whole thing of that on stream. But I started a stream, and it was like, I don't know, not 10 minutes into the stream, and you had people saying, you missed this, you missed that. And I'm like, I don't know if you've ever played a Metroid game, but when somebody tells you that you've missed something in a Metroid game, which is the entire idea of you're supposed to find things and discover them for yourself.
Yeah.
When people say that stuff, the first thing you want to do is alt F4 and then go to sleep. Because it really, really annoys you. Or, oh, you've missed something. Do you want advice? It's like, no. And that was the only stream, and probably the only stream I will ever do of one of those types of games. I learnt my lesson the hard way, really.
So I'm a little worried when Elden Ring comes out, because I do plan to stream that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the open world Dark Souls game, but it's like people are going to come and go, oh, you've missed this side content. Oh, you've done this boss yet? Have you done this side one? It's like, no, I want to discover those. Go, shut up.
Yeah, there are some games where you're just going to have to be like even harsher with your mods, etc., clamping on people. Because Elden Ring is something I want to stream, and I'm not shying away from that. But yeah,
I banned somebody for doing it.
I don't blame you.
But this was someone who used to they were a sub for my channel. So bearing in mind, it doesn't matter whether you're a sub, you're not safe.
Exactly. Doesn't give you immunity to be a butthole.
I mean, they even paid for part of my, Final Fantasy subscriptions every now and then. But it's when you're
for a second.
But when you're playing through and they're constantly going, oh yeah, you've just missed this. Oh, do you want a hint? 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 Again, that that person that I said, that little voice in the back of my head that's screaming, is there going, play a shooter, pretend it's him. It's it's that kind of thing going on.
I mean,
I had that recently with Inscription as well. I was
with Inscription. Is that good?
Like, oh, have you done the side boss? And it's like, what side boss? It's a secret boss. It's like it's called a secret boss for a freaking reason. It's like, oh, you should do this tactic, and I'm like, but I don't want to. Yeah, yes, it works. Thank you for telling me, but I don't want to be told that.
Oh, you should use crossbows in this game because they do more DPS outright than this other thing. It's like, yeah, but I want to use this particular thing. That simple example there can be applied to any game, and every single time they're like that. I have more recently, and this is the first time it's ever happened, somebody tried to tell me how to play White Mage the other day when I was doing content. I'm like, but it's more efficient to do this. It's like, what? It's like 5 buttons, dude. Like,
efficient to do what exactly? I'm confused. Can you
soloing old content. Soloing old content.
Glare and Deer? I mean, come on.
I mean, how hard can it be? But this person was like, oh, you do this and this and this. And I was like, no.
It's clear. But it's really simple. All you do is spam Cure 1 until you get the free Cure 2. And then you use that. Spam Dedicate 2.
You're going to get direct all hate messages from angry white mages to Wobbzie at twitch.tv.
I did do that to troll people, in honesty.
You're going to get some hate
when I was
now.
playing Ast, I just got lazy and just kept giving all cards to the tank because I was like, I can't be bothered to swap.
Oh no, they're all the same.
I don't play healers.
Right?
My healers are at the bottom where they belong. Okay, on my my freaking things.
Oh, all it's missing is for you to say. All you need to do now is say something derogatory about scholars, and there you go. That's it. The flames of war.
Sorted the scholar bars out.
I think everybody says
I leveled summoner.
Everybody says bad things about scholars.
Yeah.
You can't say bad things about its quest. Its freaking class quest is amazing. I cannot wait to see those in Endwalker during the MSQ, since they said that the characters are going to be in it.
What do you mean? Wait, what? There's role quests. There's no class quests.
No. I know there's no class quest, but they said that, like, I'm pretty sure they said that the class quest NPCs are going to be involved in the MSQ in some form, even to like background characters.
Yeah.
I just want to see the hopefully the Marauder that's during the Scholar one, like training new people with her as well.
Maybe.
You know, all the tactics. It'll be really sweet. And all the white mage girls just try not to kill each other.
It'll be a cameo appearance, if anything, since they said that they're happy with how the stories ended, apparently, which is...
Curious Gorge better be defending Costa del Sol, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. Please
no. Dorgone are just out killing him.
Yeah. I don't know. So let's bring it on to the other part of this that we were supposed to be talking about. So, Ivory, we'll start with you. What are you most excited for in Endwalker then? Because we need to ask this question at least before we end this in the future, because otherwise I won't have accomplished that question. So,
you know what? As stupid as it sounds, I was really like, I still am. I just want to play Sage.
You just want to play Sage, like me?
I just want to play Sage.
Nice.
I want to go through a new world. I want to play Sage. I want to go pew pew.
It's a lot of fun.
So when they announced Sage, I had a couple of people in my old FC, bless them, pipe up going, "Oh, I might actually pick up healer again." That shooter game voice comes out going, "No, I am a healer. I get first dibs."
Exactly right.
But you know, it's like my old healer buddy. As soon as Shadowbringers came out, she left me and became a dancer main. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm healing on my own. I'm all by myself. So yeah, so then as soon as Sage was announced and everything like that, everybody piped up going, "Oh, I may actually try healing." And yeah, that demon just came out of me where I'm going, "No, I get first dibs. I'm going to be a Sage. Bug off and find something else."
Yeah, it's like everybody I know.
But that's pretty much where I'm at the moment. The same as the Island Sanctuary. I want to see what's going on with that as well.
But that doesn't come out until like 6.x, you know, like 1 or 2 or something.
It's like waiting for Christmas. Actually, no, I hope it's not like waiting for Christmas.
Christmas Island.
Is always disappointing.
I still want to know if it's all our minions in our thing, or we choose what minions free roam around it.
It'll probably be
it's
like
our favourites.
slots or something, and you put a minion in a slot, sort of thing.
But they mentioned mount breeding as well at one point. That's going to be interesting.
They mentioned breeding. I don't know about mount breeding.
We'll see.
Citation on that one. There's all sorts of things that could happen from Island Sanctuary. But
I expect a lot to change.
I don't know. I think many people are seeing it as a replacement for them not being able to get a house through the lottery system.
Yeah.
You know,
I do think it is an answer to that.
Yeah, even if it's not as customizable, etc., it's still your own freaking island that you have customization options.
Decoration items that are unused.
Yeah, they mentioned furnishing and like the placement of buildings and stuff like that. That already sounds like Animal Crossing. That's enough to keep everybody interested, I can assure you. You know, oh, it won't be as polished as Animal Crossing, but the fact that you said that it won't be as polished as, and then mention that game, makes me allude to the thing that it's Animal Crossing. This is very exciting news, you know. You mention Animal Crossing, but not as polished as. That's fine. So basically, what, Stardew Valley? Like a Stardew like Harvest Moony, Animal Crossing-y. It's like a knockoff of Animal Crossing on Steam or something that you would see, like that, you know, with the Squid Game games that you can see recently. There's like 15 Squid Games.
I thought you were about to like compare Animal Crossing to Squid Game for a second there.
Oh, it would be amazing. Can you imagine?
That'd be one hell of a battle royale.
That would be. Battle Royale with Animal Crossing characters. That'd be incredible. What have you stumbled upon there? How to sell Battle Royale to kids. Nah, forget your Fortnites. Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a very Bobby Kotick sort of way of thinking, isn't it? How much can we sell these characters to these kids for? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. So Ivory's looking forward to Island Sanctuary or Ivory Sanctuary, and just stuff and things. But what about like in 6.0 itself? Then are you going to log in and go, "Oh, there's no Island Sanctuary"? Logs out.
It just don't play to 6.1.
Yeah.
No, it's like I've said, I've always been, if I'm going to be a healer, I've always preferred to be like a shield healer. So when they announced Sage was going to be a shield healer, I was all over that. Like, you know,
I mean,
quickly.
Scholar is a shield healer, well, barrier healer.
Yeah, but as much as so Scholar has been my go-to initially, always. Then I decided I was going to pick up Astro and have a little dabble with that. I decided I did not like my diurnal aspect. Aspect,
yeah, the diurnal and nocturnal.
Yeah, so I always went nocturnal with it. I would change, depending on the... Actually, that was something I was saying for ages when it comes to... So people were saying about the fact that you can't be nocturnal anymore. And I said no, because if you look at originally when you had Astro in Stormblood, it was the fact that the cards were too hard. So they decided to nerf it because Astros couldn't read the cards. Now it got to the point during Shadowbringers where Astros can't read the room. So they decided to nerf it even more.
That's quite good. That's quite funny.
But yeah, so I never got on with that one. And then when they did announce the fact that, you couldn't be nocturnal anymore, I was just like, okay, then I need to find something else. But I was always the one where people were saying, oh no, diurnal is like, you go diurnal for everything. I was just like, no, you don't.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Unfortunately, they're going off of meta information where diurnal is basically just, it is better situation. But people, I've said this all the time, they apply the meta of whatever other people do to every single situation. And it's really bloody annoying. So it suffered, unfortunately, from people trying to enforce that on other people. There was nothing wrong with Nocturnal. It was perfectly fine, and I enjoyed it. But the amount of groups I went in where you'd have somebody telling me that I'm doing it wrong, but I need to change to diurnal. In the end, I just ended up giving up and going diurnal and hating everything.
I didn't. I never backed down. I didn't. Because, again, if you're going to go bungee jumping, right, do you put on your hard hat? Which, do you put on a hard hat and jump? No, you don't. You put on a shield, aka the actual bungee cord, and the rest of the safety gear.
At least put the rope on.
Which is the bubble. It's the bubble. That's what's going to protect you, not a blinking, band-aid and a helmet before you jump. No, actually attach the bungee cord first, which is the shield. That's going to save you.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that analogy, that went straight over my head. I'm just imagining this bunny bouncing around on a bungee cord with a hard hat on now. That's all I can think of.
Adorable.
There's so many different analogies that I've had for that one. So many. But that's the one that I go to because that's the one that everybody seems to understand. The shield is the equivalent to the bungee cord.
Yeah.
If you don't have the shield, you shouldn't jump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't planning to end game with Ass, so I did stick with Diurnal Sect because I was just doing dungeons anyway, and it's better. I felt because I did White Mage first, and I was like, you know what, it's 80 now, I'm done. I don't need to care anymore.
There is something very compelling about shield healing, though. That's why I liked Astro in the first place. I will admit that. And Scholar has not been able to scratch that itch for me in any way, shape, or form. It just feels like a hands-off experience, in my own opinion.
Great, isn't it, with Scholar?
No, for me, the moment that got me when it comes to my Scholar, I was doing Emerald Weapon with my NI group, and I said to them, I'm going to dabble with my Scholar because I want to try and get this blinking shields. I want to go back to my roots of shield. That's the be all and end all. So I was running with another white mage who is a lovely, lovely person. And at one point, there's one mechanic where it hits, like a meteor hits in the middle, and everybody gets knocked back. So I popped shields for everybody, and as soon as that knockback happened, there was me and one of the tanks standing in the middle going, friends? Where's our friends? Because the shield had hit that big that both of us... So you only get knocked back if you take damage.
Oh, yeah.
But because of how the crit shield worked on the both of us, we kind of just stood in the middle completely confused. Like, why didn't we move? Whereas everybody else got knocked back into the walls.
Because you absorbed that much, yeah.
Yeah. So we're just kind of standing there in the middle, completely confused. And I was just like,
That's
you
quite
know
good.
what? This is what I wanted. That's the kind of moment that you just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Oh, and
So-
Sage, I can assure you from the time I played it on the media tour, has a lot of those options, a lot of those buttons. It's just, you're gonna love it. You are gonna love it. It's very much fun just to be able to blow something apart and not have to worry about the tank for a few seconds, and then on a boss you can really unload a ton of damage and no one ever gets hit by anything because you've got four hots basically on them that are shields, and essentially you can press Pepsis to remove those shields and instantly heal them anyway just before they tick off, so they never take any damage. They just never take any damage. You can
see now I'm just buzzing. Even like seriously,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here just like buzzing, going when.
Yeah,
and I'm just sat here terrified because of all the Sage healers who won't know what they're doing, and I'm going to be playing as a dark. At least I got TVN.
This is true. This is true. It's not
the
that
same with
hard
any
to pick up
expansion.
though. It really
know.
isn't. Reaper,
I
however,
relate with the shields. I was basically a third healer during my entire static as a dark because I was had to give TBN to other people because it wouldn't pock on me because I have so much health.
I think the learning
it's like,
curve
right,
for Reaper's going to be higher though. I think you're going to end up with a lot more of a problem with the Reapers than you are with the Sages, I can assure you. Sage, as much as there looks to be a lot of buttons, basically the way that Sage works is you've got a single target or an AoE version of everything, and that applies to another button that turns those same buttons into a shield. So they're either healing or a single target heal, an AoE heal, or you press a button, it turns into a single target shield and an AoE shield, and that's pretty much it. And then you've got like 3 off globals. That's about it. It's very, very straightforward.
Like
Whereas Reaper has got rotation into another rotation into another rotation with off globals, which is just why.
When you're used to playing Gunbreaker as well, it's all right.
Yeah, but Gunbreaker's getting kind of made simpler, isn't it?
It is. I'm glad they're doing that, the Gnashing Fang combo.
Yeah?
Because my bars are already full, as they are.
Wait, what? What? Did I miss something?
With what?
The Gnashing Fang combo is being condensed to one button rather than having 3 separate ones.
So yeah, instead of having 3 buttons, you just press this one repeatedly. It's basically PvPing in PvE.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm going to have to change my dance then.
There's a bunch of stuff like that, but the Gunbreaker one was the one that caused the most hubbub on Reddit. Like, because people were like, why? Yeah.
I don't know why. Both Gunbreaker and Dark look amazing.
I think it's not necessarily the change, but the precedent that they might continue to do that if people like it enough to everything. You know, because this whole...
I'm okay with that.
There's a huge focus on like making everything simplified, and there is a limit to the point where I believe this as well. If you simplify things too much, they become basically the most boring thing ever, because then you eliminate any kind of skill in the game at all.
Yeah.
If they give the option for the PvP style, I think that wouldn't be so bad. But yeah,
I don't know.
There are many times we all mess up the combos. So
true.
To be honest,
but...
when it comes to like some of the roles where you've got like a flood of buttons, and in all honesty, bearing in mind I said that I started off with Scholar playing as a healer and then going on to White Mage where you don't have so many buttons, I was kind of sitting there going, what is this? What is this witchcraft? Why do I not have buttons?
Yeah, thinking on it, it couldn't work with some of them because, like, well, Ninja, Samurai, and Dragoon all have like rears and flank moves at the finishes, so you couldn't have it just one button.
Yeah, but personally for me, it was not a problem when it like I had the hardest time when it comes to tanking more than anything. Whereas now, if I look at it now, I actually heal tank by choice. Heal tank DPS is my choice of roles.
That's
whereas
good.
originally it was be healer, DPS, and then tank. Tank gave me the most anxiety.
Yeah. I think a lot of people start off like that. The only thing with people, like, I mean, I'm assuming here with Wobbzie as well, is that we came from WoW where we'd already got past that anxiety, and we played tanks and healers when we needed to. I mean, me personally, I played a tank or a healer depending on who didn't show up for the week for the raiding. I was like, right, I'll log on my tank then. Oh, I'll log on my healer then. And that's you. That's inevitably how I ended up.
Tank.
Yeah.
See, I used to raid lead in WoW, so I was forced healer all the time because nobody wanted to be
exactly the
healer. So
that was my problem from Zolaman onwards. I wanted to play Warlock. Did I have the option to play Warlock? No, because there was always a healer missing. I'm like, right, okay, I'll log over, or there'll be a tank missing, so I'll log over. The best part is when you set up your own raid, and then as soon as everybody gets in there, and they're like, oh, so you're healing, and you're like, no, I'm tanking. Yeah.
Well, who's going to heal? Are you kidding me? So you want to come in on your ult?
Yeah.
Not pay attention to what's going on. It was always one of those kind of ones for me. So I always ended up getting forced into the healing role. Even with like expansions.
All three of us here, basically, what people are watching this video, they're looking at three characters that have been forced into roles that necessarily weren't their first choice, but because we wanted a group to actually complete content. That's basically what this is. We've accidentally made a podcast full of people who have been used and abused in games.
I raided a lot as an elementary shaman, so I was lucky, even back in TVC.
That is lucky. Wow.
But you see, by the time
I was on the top DPS as well.
See, I was an Alliance shaman.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as soon as you roll shaman, you're either a healer or you're not invited.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. We were one of the only
guilds. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. You're either a mana battery or you're not invited.
Yeah, we were one of the only guilds that actually used hybrids. There was me as an elementary shaman, and we had another guy who played exclusively in first person as an enhancement shaman.
I mean, we only ever used to take a shaman for bloodlust, so you know that's the only reason he got in our group.
Yeah.
And I got over my anxiety in this game.
There were so many people that used to say to me, so when are we popping heroism at the same point in every single fight, the same as we always do?
Yeah.
So when are we popping heroism? The same point we always do.
It's because they're lining up their stuff and they're like, I want to press all my cooldowns in time with this.
No, these were the kind of people that don't...
No?
They don't look at videos. They don't look at tactics. They don't look at hints or guides or anything like that.
They're just trying to brute force.
They're the kind of people that result in, you know, warnings constantly of when to move from stuff. They just kind of what is it? Blinkers?
The
no vision?
The thing on horses, the blinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they just narrow mind what they're doing and don't do what they're pretty much playing Simon Says at that point, which is not
a glass cannon.
In my opinion, it's.
I hate it. I did the same, but it wasn't rocket science. Sometimes some of the mechanics in those games.
No, well,
if you had DBM, then it was like
Burning Crusade was quite simple. Quite simple.
Wrath of the Lich King was fun. God.
No, it was just like I said. It was just a kind of like it was always the same question at the same place at the same time every bloody week, and you're just like, why are you asking when you know the answer? So when they gave it to mages, everybody turned around and went, haha, I have the control now. And I went, haha, I don't give a toss.
They gave it to Beastmasters as well. So even Hunters had it too. Yeah, if a certain pet would have a version too. So like everybody has Bloodlust. Woo!
Yeah, but wouldn't that be like a downside for their DPS if they had a specific pet for that? I can't remember.
Whip it out, use it, put it away.
Not during combat, you couldn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't think you could bring out.
But then again, Beastmaster was always just like, it didn't really matter per se, I think. I don't know. I never played Hunter.
I played a bit of BM.
I just know people like using them.
No,
there was definitely a stronger pet out of all of them, and you wouldn't want to bring something that had a buff or anything like that unless you had to.
Cerberus, wasn't it? The two-headed dog.
One.
I think it was.
I remember one like that.
That went raw. Yeah, that had the bloodlust. But I think wasn't it a wolf that you would take, or a wolf or a crab or something? I remember somebody telling me.
Crabs were PvP.
It was crab PvP. Oh, because of the stun. Yeah.
Yeah. Crabs were a PvP thing.
I really don't miss that game.
Majority.
Actual wolf, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a wolf. Wow, I don't know how we remembered that, but there we go. Yeah.
I remember going out of my way to get a Spectral Wolf as well.
Yeah, because the thing was, the one with the better stats was actually one of the rare ones that used to roam.
You went for Skull. Skull was the spectral guy from.
I got him.
Oh
because
shit!
he had an
Where was
extra
that?
buff.
Before he was meta.
He was in
I was like, oh, I've seen the water. Hey,
whatever that zone is with the dead trees and the mushrooms.
Oh god.
near Drac something. My god, Ice
I
Crown.
know where you mean. It's one of the lower level zones.
Darkshire?
No, it's...
No, it's a horde zone.
Oh, I can't remember. Someone in the comments section.
It's near where the furries live.
Oh, Scholomance. Oh, no, not Scholomance. The one that...
Plague Winds?
It was near...
no, it wasn't. That was the other side.
The dungeon with all the Worgans where they first were.
Oh, in yeah. Well, let's just we're beating a dead horse here. So nobody understands what we're talking about. Probably.
Let's go.
All right.
Lordaeron. It was the area of Lordaeron.
There we go.
There we go. Oh yeah, because I remember now with the scar, right? The scar. So Wobbzie.
Yes.
Same question.
Finally.
What are you looking forward to most in Endwalker? And yeah, go.
If I'm completely honest, it's going to be the music.
Really? Wow.
That's what I'm really looking. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I really want to hear the trial music, and I want to hear Soken's take on Otherworld. I'm hoping that's going to be one for the anima fight. You
really think they'll do Otherworld for anima?
Well, if it's not in there, it'll be somewhere. Because it's got Final Fantasy X motives and stuff like that too. It would make sense for that, but maybe like a Phase 2 thing. And I'd really like to hear like a rendition of Man with a Machine Gun and You Are Not Alone. I almost can guarantee You Are Not Alone from Final Fantasy IX will play at some point because that is too fitting for Endwalker.
Yeah, I guess. But will they go down the rabbit hole of 9 references now? I don't know.
They already did.
I know, but more so.
It's in the trailer.
That and we got the flamenco dance that I keep forgetting the name of in the dancer storyline. Yep. That was a real happy time when I heard that. I was like, oh my god, perfect. And it's a slightly different version. It's so good.
There's a difference with touching 9, like little hints of 9, than having 9 thrust down your throat.
Yeah,
because there's the bit in the trailer where you see the Warrior of Light sat in the chair as sofa him. That's like apparently a reference to when Zidane is in the same bit in 9.
Is it?
When You Are Not Alone started playing, I was like, actually, yeah, that's true. Because there was a bit where
when he discovers he's a clone.
Yeah.
Spoilers for 9.
But doodles.
Yeah. Interesting.
Just certain tunes I think we'll play, and it'd just be nice to hear those renditions.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what reference that man is writing or composing music for or from another game, or even if it's an original piece. He has such an eclectic range, first of all, but also that diversity is brought together with the same tonality every time. He hammers the same feeling through every single song, no matter what genre it is. Even if it's some piano music, some drum and bass, some... I don't know, rock music, doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. I have to say, though, I'm a little bit, I don't know, hopefully it grows on me, but the quest complete noise and the battle music for Endwalker is not nearly as exciting as Shadowbringers. And it feels a lot toned down. So going from the guitar stuff, the guitar solo, it's a little bit like... Now we're back to classic Final Fantasy. It's like, no, I don't. Oh, I fancy a bit more guitar, please.
I was kind of hoping Final Fantasy IX's battle music a little bit, maybe, but okay.
But I think it's because they want to set a completely different tone. So, for example, the stuff in Garlemald, like the battle music kind of sits better with that because Garlemald's theme is just somber ambience with the occasional bit of music because these people are dead by their own creators, basically their own people have killed them. Very sad stuff. So it's going to be somber, probably dark toned, but hopefully they go down the route of, if they're going to go that way, I want them to go like stuff like the castle theme from Final Fantasy VIII, insane orchestral organ solos like that. Yeah, Like the actual the track from 8 is called The Castle, and it's like on the organ. It's like, okay.
I could see that because I know they're going to take stuff from 4, obviously, because that's kind of obvious.
Yeah. 4 and 8 are space-related things that they could draw from.
I wonder if we'll get Road to Zanarkand in
Where?
In Endwalker. Have you not heard the Road to Zanarkand tune? It's just really nice. It's like the intro one.
But what would the reference be to?
I don't know.
Stop trying to bring 10 into my 14, Wobbzie. So I know your ploy. You're just
anime.
You're
Come
just
on.
you're
I
just trying
to be the raid tier.
I know your ploy. You're just trying to put Blitzball in my game, and I'm saying no.
I do want Blitzball. I do want it.
No, Ivory, help me.
Even if it's the really bad 10-2, like, please.
Whoa, we're not going to badmouth 10-2, one of the best games ever made.
10-2 is okay, but the Blitzball is shite. No one can change my mind on that. The Blitzball is utter shite in that.
No, that's because it's like player management simulator.
Yeah, it's like pop in, it takes a minute, and then pop out. It's like, why?
And
there's no fun.
The coin minigame is awful. Let's be honest.
I was like, oh my god, I hope that's the new minigame in the Gold Saucer. I don't.
The coin game is the worst. Triad. Yeah, why don't we just put Tetramaster in whilst we're at it, eh?
Well, I did joke when they said, like, oh, the team did a good job with Mahjong. It's going to be Shogi. It's like, please, no. I don't want Yakuza again.
Let's just put more card games in the game. Why not?
Yeah, because someone said Tetramaster. It's like, why?
Tetramaster would be just very... People would be like, now I've got more cards to collect. Screw you!
That is going to be interesting. Will we get our card mat taken away from us in Endwalker?
Huh? Why would
Could you imagine they? Because, like, obviously you get free 12, and they're going to be adding more cards in.
Yeah, there'll be a new achievement beyond that.
I know, but could you imagine if they did that?
Nah, they wouldn't retroactively.
I know they wouldn't, but would you still have to get free 12 for it, or would you have to get all of the Endwalker ones now?
No, I
haven't got it.
I think it'll stay the way it is. There'll just be another achievement, like when they add a new fishing stuff. So that, like, do 280 fish, that'll still stay there, but then there'll be one for 400 fish with a new reward. That's basically what they'll do. That's pretty much guaranteed. So they'll be like, hey, guess what, guys? We've added another 150 cards. Have fun. And we're like, no!
Yeah. I'm also really looking forward to being emotionally destroyed by the video game again.
Yes. More patches.
How dare you?
Yes, more patches like 5.3. Absolutely.
I'm not saying 5.4 and 5.5 and 5.5 weren't emotional. It's just they were more leading up to the next story, and it was just like the impact of 5.3 is like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, everything past 5.3 was kind of like a filler deliberately, that build up, and it's not supposed to be this big grandiose thing because it's building up to a better story.
You could easily gloss over the whole thing in 5.3, but if you actually sort of like take the words to heart and everything like that and think of the history of the game franchise, who you fight as well, considering who the poster boy is of Shadowbringers, it's so fitting as the final trial for the Gear expansion.
Well, it's going to be even more interesting because, you know, here's the thing that you might get a kick out of that I'm thinking will happen. So we had the recent trailer for Endwalker, and on that had Emmett Selk narrating. So what I'm thinking they're going to do is they'll do narration throughout all of this as we're rediscovering parts of, you know, basically the Empire and the Asian backstory. But what I think is you remember when they had Ardbert narrating every zone that you went to? Yes, Emmett will be the one doing the voiceover of, the kingdom as it was. You know, it starts like that and continue. I would love that. That will make me smile.
I do think a sliver of Emmett is still with us in some form as well.
He's
like
not
how he
dead.
Used to be. But yeah. Well, I mean, 5.3.
Shoe bill, you know. If we see a shoe bill in those new zones, that's it.
Yeah.
Confirmed. A bird native to the other world is suddenly in our world because it's Emmett. Yeah, we'll see.
It is going to be interesting the direction they go in the story, though, just because at this point as well, canonically, we know we're an Ashian, especially that we are the seat of Azem as well. Just like,
well, I think that's going to be a 6.1 storyline.
Yeah, I think it will be as well. But you know what's funny about that when that got revealed? It technically makes the Duty Finder part of the lore. Because if you think about it, that's exactly how the Azem is, where you literally summon people from across time and space.
Yeah.
To join you on your adventures.
The adventurer, yeah. the seat that was never filled as well, because you were too busy adventuring to fill it.
And I don't think there's going to be a very clear villain or good person in this either.
Yeah, they're going to drag
the way Japanese
Xenos
need
along.
to do things is light is usually the bad side.
They're going to drag Xenos along whether we like it or not. I personally, now this is going to be an unpopular opinion, I really don't want to see his shit-eating grin for more than 5 minutes in that expansion, honestly. But they're going to do it.
I have a theory that he's not going to be a permanent member, but he will be a guest member at one point as the Trust in the story. I think he will be a Trust member as like a sort of the enemy of my enemy's my friend, like type thing. Because in Shadowbringers we had the dancer lady, and he is the Reaper representative.
No, I want Xenos to be not alive anymore.
You mean during like the actual story, the first time through?
Yeah, but Lena wasn't evil.
He will be like a guest character for the Trust.
No,
it wouldn't surprise me.
No, I completely disagree, and I'm disgusted by that. I want Xenos nowhere near our protagonist sort of side. No, I don't want any reforms of character this time around. No, I don't care what people want.
Flirting with you awkwardly during the whole fight as well.
No, I want him to literally get what he wants, which is a battle with you to the death. He dies honorably. You know, that's his last thing. And then Viassian probably ruins everything by being the bigger bad and turns into, what's his name? Crap. No, not Zodiac. Zeramus.
Oh, Zeramus.
I think.
I do wonder where they would put Zeramus in, and that would make sense.
I think that's him. I think he is Zeramus.
I don't think Van Daniel alone, because he's meant to be a shard, because he is sundered. It'd be the combination of all of them that would become Zeramus.
Maybe, but because he is a sundered, isn't he?
9? The boss that just appears at the very end.
No, that's Necron.
Necron's another potential because he wants to return everything to nothing.
Well, yeah, but Necron wasn't mentioned in the Pantheon of the 12. Zeramus was.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Zeramus is, because it's based on Final Fantasy 12 plus Tactics.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, but
that's true.
Well, the 12 are members of a convocation of 14. They're the other Asians.
No, I just remember Zeramus is in 12. I had the guide. So,
like Birrigat, etc. are Asians. You are one of them. You are Azema.
What's he going to do? Craft for us when we fight him?
No, probably hit you with his massive hammer.
That's where I was going to go.
Because he's a blacksmith.
I'd rather he craft, please.
It's a
nice pair of shoes.
Do you know Aldwar with the guy that's the Forge Master? Like that. Just smash you in the face with a hammer.
I've been doing those recently.
You know?
It gets mentioned a lot.
So you're looking forward to music in Endwalker. What else? So anything in particular got your fancy? Any content? Or are you just in for the whole ride?
I'm looking forward to seeing how we actually get to the moon.
Ah, yes. Speculations, go.
I reckon it's going to be the Void Ark, but we'll see.
You think it's Void Ark? Okay.
Yeah. Well, Ragnarok we've seen in screenshots, at least what looks like
possibly.
It could be, and that's a dungeon. Other than that, like, it's either going to be the Moon of Dalamond in some form or another, or it's going to be the Void Ark. That's how we're going to get to the moon. So,
what about you, Ivory? How do you think we get to the moon? There are no wrong answers.
Well, I've already been trying, but it constantly keeps telling me that I can't go any higher. So,
those bunny ears aren't used for flapping, you know. It's not going to work. I can imagine you jumping off a cliff now, just flapping your ears like, I can fly. Nope.
I'm to put a safety helmet on first.
I've done that so many times. The amount of times I was playing through, constantly going, can I jump off this bridge? Can I jump off this ledge? And it was like, no, you can't.
You're like a lemming. The first thing you're going to do in Endwalker, actually, is when you get to Charlie and you're like, can I jump off this?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I do that with everything. And at one point, I was with one of my friends, and I was like, I wonder, because she was the kind of person that was like, I'm going to the bathroom, I'm going to get a drink, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Don't die. And every single time she came back, there would be like a really sad song being played as I'm lying dead on the floor. So anyway, at one point she was babysitting me, and she knew the whole time. She's just like, I've just got to grab hold of you and pull you back every now and then when you're looking over the edge. One time I did it, and I said, I wonder if I can jump off this. I died at the bottom because I landed on a crab. Sad music.
Crab.
I landed on a crab because I was below level. Landed on a crab. The crab hit me. I died, and I'm lying there. Sad music's playing. She comes back and she's just like, what the hell is wrong with you? I don't know. I have issues. I may need to like put a thing on to, call a number. I don't know. I just have this thing that if I can jump over it, I want to try.
so the mount or fashion accessory that Ivory really needs is a Zorb ball or some cushions.
Just imagining Hobo now, like taking Ivory on a walk, like with some sort of adult reins. Like, no, get away from the cliff. No.
A padded suit.
What, have you actually seen us out on a walk? How do you know this?
He's got a good imagination. Every time there's a river, you're like, no, don't jump in now, Ivory. Yeah, I can fly. Oh dear.
But no, as for getting there, you know what? It's not something I've actually thought about. I've spent too much time trying to actually flap up there myself that I didn't actually think how we would get up there.
When do you think we'll come into the story? Do you think it'll be the end zone or?
Well, I've always been in the story.
You have.
Well, which part? I mean, because Subterranea is probably going to be the final zone. Or one of the last zones. So you're probably going to go on the surface and be like, everything's happy. And it's like, Zodiac's underneath, isn't he? Oh, yes, right. How do we get to Subterranea? Well, you need to go to Old Amarot. That's the floating thing above Garlemald, which is clearly seen in some of the artwork they won't tell us about. And you need to learn about it. And then you'll be able to find which glyph you would put to where. And then suddenly you've got a Final Fantasy X trial.
The moon is literally how the Ascians have moved people in between worlds as well. It's going to become a nexus, isn't it, at some point?
I mean,
we travel to different worlds.
With Final Fantasy IV being referenced so heavily, I'd be amazed if there wasn't a subterranean area of the moon, which will be the last zone, where we're actually there in front of Zodiac.
And all the Namming ways are evil. People think they're going to be good, but they're actually like the Monty Python rabbit.
You mean the Leporats?
Yes, sorry. Well, they're basically Naming Ways, but...
if we don't have like a cameo from Naming Way, I'll be quite surprised. But he'll probably have... If we do see him, I want him to say, hey, do you want to change your name? Oh, wait, you need a Fantasia. You need to pay for that. Can I do anything? He's going to rename himself to something. Like,
what if they are like an enemy in a dungeon? Ivory, would you do that dungeon?
No.
But what if it's part of the MSQ?
You don't kill a Leporat. That's mean.
But they're evil.
Maybe they're not evil.
But what if these are evil? What if they're tempered?
They're not. They're a beast tribe.
I'm the evil bunny out of all of this. I'm just saying. And even I won't do it.
No, what? Because they're a beast tribe. What if they do summon something that's similar to King Mugamog, but as a rabbit?
So Tsukiyomi, but the real Tsukiyomi.
Well, it's just a giant. It's basically what Ivory looks like right now, but increase the size by like 20.
Meoni, can we kick him, please?
Yeah, we
please.
can. We can. We'll just right click from me.
Yeah, okay.
It has a Mochi move, with the hammer and everything. It'd be adorable.
I don't know.
Mochi's amazing.
Maybe they'll just be a big cheese. That's what's underneath the like. We go to the final zone and it's just a big cheese. That's
either we have that trial, or we have spider mounts. Come on.
Oh, both.
I vote we kick him. Can we kick him, please?
I don't know if he doesn't
please.
like spider mounts.
Can we kick him?
What if they made the spider cute though, like Maexna or something from Naxxramas?
Yeah.
There's a cute spider. To be fair though, the first time I did Naxxramas and I saw that boss, I was like, nope. That thing is horrible. Yeah. I don't think they would do that in this game, would they? Because of people's phobias. The
spiders do exist in like one zone, I think.
Yeah,
more than one zone, but because they're in the city of Monarch as well.
I mean, the scorpions, which is arguably worse.
I don't really want to do the reference again, but in one of the WoW expansions, there was a part where spiders were in one of the starting areas. I'm not saying which expansion, but starting areas were spiders and spider egg animal thingies and whatnot. I had to do that quest line with my eyes closed and count on my ex-boyfriend and one of my friends to help me do the quest because I was that angst about spiders. So no spiders.
You played the Forsaken.
Yeah, it's definitely something that they're
No
probably
spiders.
not gonna do.
No,
I don't think they will.
It was one of the later expansions, but it was that whole thing had just turned my stomach to the point that I could not play that one section of the game because of it. So if they bring in spiders, I'm already, and it's horrible when people get the stingray mount out for me because I hate fish. If there's spiders, I will scream the place down. I will actually scream.
It's adorable.
Super serious question then. Ivory first. What would you want to see as the new trial mounts? Recolors each time.
Well, let's get into that.
I've had this conversation with so many people and none of us can, like, we all instantly go back to what there previously was. But I've got it in my head that I just want a giant bun. I want a giant fluffy bun.
Just lots of different coloured buns and one giant bun.
I mean, even if I just want buns.
You got a thing for bunnies, haven't you?
I really, really do. Yeah.
So if we ever meet at like a convention, you'll be there in the bunny furry suit then?
No, not quite that bad, but I do actually have Bunny actually does come with me to conventions. So
really?
I do actually have Bunny. Bunny's Moon actually comes with me to conventions. So there is me and Bunny.
So you want multicolored rabbits and then a giant big golden fluffy rabbit.
What if they fart rainbows?
What if they do?
They probably do, right? It would make sense. Moon buns. If anything, they'd probably give you a bunny mount from the new Beast Tribe as a reward, right? Final rank.
Sold.
That'd be amazing.
Take my money.
Or it's a giant carrot that flies. I don't know.
I wonder if because they'll add the Beast Tribe later. I was going to say, I wonder if the Beast Tribe will be there like in the first week, but it won't be, will it? Sadly. Sad face.
Not within the first week. It's usually like a week or two after, isn't it?
Don't know.
I'm trying to think of something cool that would be the mount.
What about you? What would you go for, Wobbzie? What would you most want out of anything? What would be the thing that you were like, yep, give me now?
Oh, depending on how they do it. I've had a few in my mind. Snake, I just thought of.
Good choice.
Would be an interesting one.
Depends how you do them.
I'd like to joke spider, but no, that won't happen. Trying to think of animals. I personally think it's going to be some form of Magitech thing.
You think?
But I don't know what. Just because of the whole Garlemald thing.
Magitech stuff.
But it would look kind of weird to be coming from like a primal, so yeah.
I mean, when it comes down to Magitech, you do have like 50 different models that are in a game we can't currently use.
The shoe puffs from Final Fantasy X.
Why do you keep going back to 10?
I mean, that's a thing that just came to my mind. It could be, but no, they're
you want to ride the shoe puff, Wobbzie?
The shoe puff's more likely going to happen from the Beast Tribe, like the elephant ears, because they're in 10.
Like a Hypello. We'll just add Hypello, you know. You want to ride the shoe puff? Flamingos. That's basically a chocobo that's not been fed properly.
True.
Let's be fair.
Elephants would be a bit, but we already have an elephant in the game. That's the problem.
Penguins?
I think of like mounts we don't already have. Penguin. I'm trying to see how you mount a penguin.
Google how to mount a penguin. I'll let you search that one. I want decent search results.
What list will I end up on?
Yeah, who knows?
But I'm trying to think of like something that would make sense as like something you'd be able to mount. Like a snake does kind of come to mind because they already have something like that, but they don't at the same time.
Snakes. I mean, we could just have a load of really cool sky serpents, like in WoW. I love those. You know those jade serpent thingy, and the one from Ulan and all the rest of them.
How about that two-headed dog or whatever it is? That's from like the Void Ark. You know, like one of the Void creatures.
They could go down the route of Void creatures actually.
Yeah, because I was just thinking of all the things they've done. I'm thinking,
what about bats?
Haven't done yet. Bats could be interesting.
Different coloured bats with some kick-ass, like, evil, dark, like, black, smoke-covered bat as the final reward. I don't know.
Maybe.
Don't know.
That could work. Or the Sharkmen.
Sharkmen.
Yeah, you know, the ones that you fight in the amphitheater or whatever it is, and the other bits as well, like with the...
Shark, you mean the Sahagin?
No, not the Sahagin. The actual ones that look like they're from Surfer Shark and cartoon.
Dolidos in not Amaranth. What's the other one? The
one with the really funky jazz.
The Ondu people, whatever they're called.
No.
No?
It's another one. Is like, you know, when it was a flame festival when you're doing the bomb thing.
Oh, that thing.
And you're dancing, and it's like you fought one of them shark guys. Maybe.
Oh God, as a matter.
Maybe. You're just trying to think of things.
Yeah, but
all right.
So, here's the first question: have any of the mounts previous from any of the trial series ever been related to the bosses at all in any way, shape, or form? Not really.
Oh.
So the Guibas haven't been anything to do with them itself or anything, or any of the fights. So it literally could be anything.
Well, I know the weapon dragons look a little bit like the weapons.
Yeah, but it's more of like, what would a dragon look like if it was a ruby dragon? It's like, okay, yeah, it's got a cool looking chin. That's about it, really. And the diamond one has diamonds.
You've got to have some aspect of the boss that it comes from within it.
So how viable are each of those ideas depending on the boss itself? So you've got to think the only boss we know of that's a trial, actually 2 trials, is Anima and the Mega Sisters. So
Robin.
You've got like such a vast canyon of ideas there, because Anima, dark, evil, depressing, literally, I mean, Seymour sacrificed his mother, well, she sacrificed herself so that,
spoilers,
you know, so that she could become his like Aeon.
It's the best Final Fantasy. Can't spoil it.
Yeah, arguable.
No, I'm kidding.
Arguable. And then you've got like the Mega Sisters, which are like loopy, you know, Mandy, Cindy, and Sandy just chilling out there.
There've been fears of them turning into a Sora anyway, since they're doing 4.
Yeah, so you could have, I don't know, anything from like a ladybug to an evil Leviathan snake with bones.
Might be boring, but because I just was playing Final Fantasy VIII, I know Zell had a hoverboard at one point. I mean, I think that'll be a mount at some point anyway. What if they were the trial mount?
Oh God!
See, I went down.
Hoverboards.
We all kind of like were sitting there trying to think of mythological creatures and whatnots, and I think we all kind of agreed on cat at one point.
Chimera.
Cat mounts though. Like what kind of cat mount? Are we talking like in WoW where you have like the leopards and things?
Just the chimera that exists in the game.
Chimeras are not cats, dude.
Yeah, but they have a lion's head.
True, but like cats, you know, like meow, not rawr.
I see it as more like a...
I meant cats as in loose, like as in like wild cats.
A puma.
Yeah.
A puma.
I can't see them doing lions because they're like lions and saber.
Well, we've already got like
exist already in the tanks.
Yeah, we've got Centurio tiger as well, so I don't think it'll be tigers. Maybe like saber-tooth cats of, I don't know, like lynx.
Well, no, because we've got a saber-tooth cat already.
But then you've got to imagine that they're going to have to go through like 5 or 6 different colors for these. So I don't really want the pink pussy. You know, I can't imagine that being one of the mounts.
I'm just trying to think if there's some sort of mythological creature that exists with the dancers.
Ivory's done.
Yeah. You were waiting to get that one out.
Yes, I was. Yeah. Slow hanging fruit. It's very easy.
What if they're bees?
What? Bee mounts?
Yeah.
You need to Google that as well, how to mount a bee.
Just to be... no, do you know what? It might be a fish. Just to be my ultimate nightmare, it might be a fish.
Catfish, yeah, that could actually work.
What if it was carp? Really nice coloured carp.
Catfish, yeah, that would work.
Floaty
whiskers and everything.
Oh, yeah, we need whiskers. Yes, more whiskers.
I just gagged then. I just gagged.
Yeah. Maybe
Like,
I don't know.
Like I'm very much aware that I'm probably like the craziest person for having this thing about fish.
But you like sushi, don't you?
I do like sushi, but I also
how can you like sushi but not looking at a fish in its living state?
What if they do the mounts after like the various helmets that the Ghanaian
helmets
officers wear? Like, have you seen the Emperor's helmet?
There you go. Here's something that no one would disagree with this point. Okay, what if they just added different coloured wings and let you fly around with wings?
Yes,
that would be interesting.
And make the wings have a spell effect and a colour depending on the boss. So Anima's wings would be rotten and it'd be green and horrible, but then you'd have like diamondy wings, and that would answer everyone's question of when are we going to get angel wings as an actual mount, and then you could have one of them be a one-winged mount, and then everybody would be happy.
If you have one wing, can you fly like sideways?
I don't know.
Just fly around in a circle.
Just as long as it has like feather effect where the feathers like slowly fall to the ground, that would be I could
amazing. See them more adding that in as an emote with one wing, in all honesty. I'd love it, but yeah.
But wing mounts though, that sounds so much fun.
I didn't even think of that. Like jetpacks would also be pretty cool too.
We'd be pretty close to Ion then, or Aeon, or whatever it's called, wouldn't we?
What would the possibility of bugs be in there going along the whole bee thing, but not a bee? Like different beetles?
Like a stag beetle.
Yeah, like because then that way you've got, like, if you look at beetles, you've got various different versions of beetles that you could work into it.
A mythical beetle. So we go through mythical birds and a mythical beetle.
Yeah, beetles? I don't know.
I mean, the Japanese love their insect collecting. Why
go
not?
For
the
worms.
rhinoceros beetle.
Different worm boys, and then the final one. The final one can be like an abyssal worm with lots of teeth. I don't know. Basically, it just looked like it would just look like a penis, wouldn't it? Really.
What about moles or hamsters?
Moles.
I mean, I guess hamsters.
We have the worst ideas for mounts, I think. Comment section. Let us know what you would like to see as a mount.
Various forms of blitzballs. Let's go.
Get out with get out. You can take your Final Fantasy X references and keep them to 10.
So we are going to kick him now, yeah.
Yeah. You keep us wanting to add blitzball to my game. I'm just not. It's not cricket. It's literally not.
We could have cricket too.
Okay, maybe. Oh dear, I don't even know anymore. But that was an interesting bit of insight that we went into tangent. Ah, dear.
I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Okay, final thing then. Final thing for both of you in order. We'll go Ivory first. What are you least looking forward to? And don't say Rabarnex.
Least looking forward to. Loading times.
Loading times?
Loading times, queues to get into the game. You know, you go to log in on one day and it's like you've 10,000 in the queue. Okay, then.
Especially on Cactuar.
Let me go do my housework. Oh, yeah.
Have fun on that on Cactuar. What about the game itself? Like, once you're actually in, you're looking forward to all of that lovely lag?
It's, oh, God. The lag's going to kill me. It really will.
Yeah, I'll just see in the corner of my eye, Ivorysmoon has logged on, and you'll just be like, my main's trapped.
Move for 5 minutes, but they've logged on.
Yeah.
No, you just come into my stream and just watch me like T-posing everywhere.
It'll be the easiest stream ever because it'll just be a permanent black screen with a 90,002 error. It's going to be the easiest time ever for a streamer.
Asserting my dominance, just T-posing everywhere.
Oh dear. What else? Are you least looking forward to, I don't know, queue times with the increased healer count, or are you not that bothered?
To be honest, that's one thing that was concerning me, because the amount of people that was just like, oh, I'm going to go healer just to beat the queue times. It's like, you do realise everybody's going to go Sage.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to be in that queue, so you're actually inflating the queue for no reason. But yeah, so in all honesty, I've kind of got a group that I'm going to do stuff with.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad because I've got tanks that I can call on. I've got, DPS is one of the easiest ones to fill. You just instantly go, I need a D, and everybody's there.
Yeah. Well, you just put in your Discord you need a D, and
No, what I meant.
I mean,
what have you done?
we are in Limiter after all.
This is what Ivory gets up to on her streams. She needs a D, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, mate."
Well, yeah.
There we go.
Like, not you, hobo.
Oh my god, I've been so good the whole time, and then I fluff it at the end.
I knew it. I knew you'd get there eventually. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm just gonna trust system the dungeons. I want to get that extra story.
Oh god, what's Ivory's lost it? Wobbzie, what are you least looking forward to?
I mean, technically, I guess it's related, I suppose. Seeing the amount of bunny boys that are just going to be in 2B thigh highs in Limsa.
You're not looking forward to a bit of thigh high bunny boy action? Really?
No.
Oh.
Not at all.
Okay, fair
It's just
enough.
because there's going to be a lot of it. It's going to be just my eyes will bleed.
Each to
Sometimes too much of one thing is bad, you know. But no, like it says, I not the fact that we're not going to have the revision PvP straight away as well. It's going to make me very sad.
Yeah, but it'll be worthwhile. I'm looking forward to
It
still
will.
conflict because the feast, honestly, yeah, I have opinions on the feast. Bad opinions on the feast.
Apart from that, like the saddest thing is I'm going to be working on an Endwalker day, so
Oh yeah,
I'm going to have to come home, download the patch unless I get to do it on that day now, and have the same problem of logging in and hopefully not being spoiled.
Did you
by, like,
are you one of the people that try to book off time for it and then?
That's why I'm here today, because I have the time off this week.
Oh, it's unfortunate, and a lot of people have been in the same situation. Ivory, did you have to, sort out time for this, or you like me, we just kind of no life it anyway?
No life it.
Just gonna no life it.
I mean, I did. Well, I've had job interviews and whatnots recently, and I did have those moments where I'm just like, but what if I get this job and I'm going to be able to play on release? Do I book it? Do I tell them that I've already got this holiday coming up? Or
the answer is always yes to that. Yeah.
So I've been going through this whole thing, and then at the same time, there's this little thing in the back of my head going, you do realise that if you are working, you could always have the week after off and have that peace of mind that it's going to be a lot calmer to deal with.
Nah, you want chaos. That's what we need. We need full-on chaos, week 1 chaos. And for a fact streaming that's going to be worthwhile.
And the only other thing I'm not looking forward to is going to the Glam Chesser and finding out that it hasn't increased in size.
Oh, it's definitely not increased in size. They would have mentioned it by now.
I know. I'm very sad that's not going to happen.
It
Same with
is
the Glam
unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But hopefully that's something that we get 7.0, hopefully. Because my glamour dresser is disgusting.
It's really minor things that I'm not looking forward to because I'm just so excited for Endwalker. I really am.
Yeah, we need it because we're sat here going, well, once this tea time's over, what are we going to do for the rest of the day? I have no idea.
I'm going to go get myself some food.
You're going to get food?
I've got to go shopping.
You got to go shopping?
Well, yeah, because Hobo drank all the milk.
Oh, Hobo. Get a Hobo to go shopping.
Well, no, because he's working. He's actually
he's
keeping the roof over my head.
You get to those corners, Hobo. You earn that money. You do.
His version of work is more important than my version of work.
Fair enough.
Just screaming you need the D.
No.
I can't believe I said that.
Oh, dear.
I know what I meant in my head, but it didn't come out that way.
It never does come out that way. But
I did ask if I had to have a filter. I did ask. I tried to keep my filter on.
It's fine. You did fine. Right.
It's like when I was playing Fatal Frame, oh my god, I was like, okay, I can't say certain things. I was like, touch the ghost. Like, okay, there's some children ghosts here.
Oh,
no.
Dear.
Move on.
I can yes.
Let's not have something that will be taken out of context here.
Everything is taken out of context on the internet. You should know this by now, Wobbzie. Have you seen Ivory's clips? Jeez.
God, yes.
Oh dear, that video is still being edited. It's so heavy on Ivory's clips at the minute.
Really?
Yeah. Oh dear. Right.
I mean, if you do want to just do one of me, you know, I'll take it. I'll use it.
It's you have a lot of material to work with. Let's put it that way.
Make a collage out of it. A movie even.
That's probably the plan at this point. Right, let's wrap this up then, because I'm sure some people are like, what are they talking about? And we don't really know. So, but it's been truly awesome. Thank you both for coming on. It's a nice little chit chat. Next time, remember to bring a beverage next time. You know, nice cup of tea. That's why it's called tea time. But yeah. Anyway.
I can buy for my hot chocolate.
No milk.
No milk.
No milk.
Just have your coffee dark, you know, without the milk. That's what I have sometimes. You know, put a bit of sugar in that sometimes. It's nice. Just go straight down.
Are we bouncing off the wall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, you're bad enough as it is right now.
Yeah. Right then, Wobbzie, let's start with you. Where can people find you if they want to find that lovely Wobbzie action? What you've got planned? Your time to spell. Go for it.
Oh, main place is twitch.tv/Wobbzie, where you'll find my YouTube, which does have a unique one, but I can't remember. I think it is /Wobbzie as well. Twitter.com/Wobbzie2 for that as well. Same with Instagram. I'm planning to do Heaven and High a little bit later. I don't know if we're going to reach a level 400, but we'll see how things go. I'm resting my voice after Final Fantasy VIII yesterday, and I'm also going to get myself something to eat. Probably going to just put a pizza in, put some bacon on. It's going to be delicious. So nothing too important.
So
I'm done.
They can find you eating pizza, basically.
Yes. Okay. You can find me eating pizza all the time.
Okay.
But only for the OnlyFans.
Only pizza, you mean?
Yes, only pizza.
Yeah, only pizza. Yeah. Right, Ivory, what about you?
Majority of the time I spend my time on Twitch, so it's twitch.tv/Ivorysmoon. I do YouTube as well, but not a lot of content over there. But you can find me on Twitter talking crap. I've forgotten the address.
Isn't it like Ivorysmoon?
Is it not just like Ivory Moon?
At Ivorysmoon, there you go.
Yeah.
My brain completely just
poofed.
Poof.
Brain poof.
Nice and simple. Wobbzie at Wobbzie.
Yeah. Try. That's a top tip for everybody who's making like streaming and stuff. Try and make it like 1 or 2 syllables and then put it everywhere. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
It's
the same thing. If people want you to be your friends in 14, it helps if we know what your name is, and it's the same as it is as your Twitch name.
It's like, Meoni, what's your name? Meoni. All right, what are you on YouTube? Meoni. What are you on Twitch? Meoni. What are you in this game?
It's
Meoni.
Wobbzie. It's Wobbzie, it's usually me.
Yeah. It makes it a lot easier. But yeah, it has been honestly a pleasure. Thank you so much. And don't be a stranger, because I would love to have you both on probably post Endwalker at some point if you've got time between your busy schedules, either both or individually. If you've got time, let me know. But yeah, thank you for blessing us with your presence. Thank you both. You can say goodbye to people if you want to.
Goodbye. Thank you for having us.
Yes, it's been a pleasure, even if there wasn't actual tea given.
Hey, you bring your own tea.
I had no milk.
That was in the small print. You should have got milk.
I also...
You shouldn't have overslept. You should have got some milk.
Just steal the milk from your neighbour like everyone else does. Come on.
For neighbours that are not there at the moment, yeah.
Oh, you guys still have milk in bottles and things? We don't have that anymore.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind you like opening their window and taking their milk.
I wish we had milkmen.
Yeah, they took that away from us as well. Yeah. I used to get orange juice from a milkman. Do you remember that?
Yes.
We used to get strawberry milk from the milkman.
It's amazing. Just British things.
We need to kick him. We definitely need to kick him. He gets strawberry milk.
Yeah.
Don't anymore.
Okay.
Strawberry milk and bring the D. There you go.
Yeah, with the pink pussy as well. Don't forget
that.
For
flip's. And on that note, thank you very much for watching this episode of Tea Time number 66. Might as well be 666 with what we dealt with. We're all going stir crazy, waiting for Endwalker. We'll do a follow-up probably with these two in the future to see if it lived up to their expectations. Thank you so much for watching. Let's try and time a bow to finish this off with, if possible. Still better timing than Mr. Squex. So 3, a 2, a 1. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. I don't know why. That must be your version of the bow. Interesting.
No, I'm just doing grovel instead.
You're doing grovel. Oh dear. Right, well, be sure to check them both out. Their details will be, if you didn't understand what they said, which is possible because of the audio quality, check out the description of this video and click on those links. Give them some love if you would, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.